Friday night football in the foothills. Placer Hillmen football on the air as they take on Bishop O'Dowd. Casey Freelove alongside Dave Rosenthal, ready to bring you tonight's game. Bishop O'Dowd has won the toss. Placer will receive the kick. Tonight's captains for the Hillmen, number 2, Andy Alvarez, number 5, Sam Benders, number 54, Mike Callis, and number 64, Keith Messerall. As for the visiting Bishop O'Dowd Dragons, coached by Napoleon Kaufman, their captains tonight, number 3, Jaden Davis, number 22, Dylan Vega, number 26, Ethan Ford, and number 55, Justin Walker. We've got a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of NFL pedigree as far as the bloodline on the Bishop O'Dowd team, and we'll tell you about that as we continue through the broadcast. Dave, when last we were on the field together, Vista Del Lago, Placer picking up a big victory on offense, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit as they're getting ready to play the national anthem. Tark will take a 2-minute break, and then it's kickoff time here. Friday night football in the foothills on KAHI. Welcome into Lefevre Stadium. Casey Freelove alongside Dave Rosenthal, Tark Ansari back at KAHI Studios, producing Friday night football in the foothills. Placer Hillmen and the Bishop O'Dowd Dragons. Placer out here in their green uniforms with gold and white stripes down the side, and of course the green and gold helmets. Bishop comes out in yellow pants with white jerseys, black numbers outlined in gold. They are the Dragons of Oakland. They are 0-4, but they have played one of the toughest schedules in the entire United States of America. We'll get into that during the course of the broadcast. Ready to tee things up for O'Dowd is a monstrous-sized boy, Gabriel Placencia, 235-pound kicker. You don't see that every day, Dave.
Please don't hurt the football.
Absolutely. Back deep for the Hillmen tonight, Sam Bender and A.J. Ferreira on the return.
A.J.'s back there. Good.
Placer will be moving from left to right as we get things underway on a picture-perfect fall night for football here in the beautiful foothills of California. And the left-footed kicker kicks it end over end. It's going to be fielded by Bender at the 5-yard line. Comes across the far side, 10, 15. He's got a lane to the far side, out to the 30,
Great block.
35, 40. And pushing it out towards midfield is Bender. It looks like a flag flew, though, back at the 26, Dave.
That could be considered a blindsided block. I think I heard that called in the earlier game. Now they're going to call it a hold against the Hillmen.
I think they got Keith Messerall, number 64, on the far
that's
side.
Unfortunate because that was a heck of a return.
That
that block on the outside was devastating to get those extra 15 yards, too. If they threw that flag at the 30 and march them back 10, they're going to get a 1st and 10 at the 20. And that's where they'll start.
That they will. They will back them up. And we'll get you your Hillman starters here in just a little bit. There's going to be one slight change at running back as Placer welcomes Dylan Logelin, who is in the starting lineup tonight in place of Jesse Wiggum. Of course, you got Hans Grossman there at fullback. You're going to see a lot of Logan Groth as well. Xavier Guerra, I should say, gets the start, though, right now in the wing. Martin Haswell, your quarterback, will set the line in a moment. Grossman behind Haswell. We're ready to rock here. And it's going to be a handoff coming around the near side is Logelin. Logan's got some room out to the 30, trying to use that block and push his way up to the 41-yard line. Great run there, 20 yards out to the 40-yard line for number 22, Dylan Logelin, a welcome addition to this Hillman program. He'd been out the first few weeks. He's seeing his first game action day.
I understood it was some shoulder problem, but yeah, that was really good. Good seal block on the outside, too, by the right side of the line and the lead fullback on that one, of course, Hans Grossman. But, boy, he turned on the burners to the outside and really made some positive yardage there. Good way to get started.
Absolutely. Your center, Kyle Christensen, right guard, Jack Sabins, right tackle, Big Mike Callis. And now we've got a timeout on the field. We'll just keep it here because it's so early. Evan Robinson, your left guard, and Chase Etsy, not Etsy. Remember, Dave, I messed that up a few times. He'll be out there in your left tackle position as this Hillman program looks to complete the preseason 3-2. Now, as I mentioned, Bishop O'Dowd is a power out of the Bay Area. Private school from Oakland. They're the defending section champions in their region, but they've gotten off to an 0-4 start this year as a program because they have played some absolute beasts on their schedule. In fact, I think I have the schedule in your
I know
pile
they played,
over there, Dave.
Monte Vista, they've played Pittsburgh. I mean, crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, so they've played some really top-tier opponents, have these Bishop O'Dowd Dragons, and whatever. I don't have it here in front of me. We'll tell you about it a little later. Doesn't matter. They're 0-4, but they're better than their record indicates, and you know how it is. Public school versus private school football. You know where we fall in that argument. Let's see if Placer can't get things going like the JV did earlier. A little bit of a different look. 2 receivers for the Hillmen. It's going to be a handoff to Grossman going over the left side, and Big Hans pushes his way out to the 44-yard line Nice gain there over the left guard. Evan Robinson with the block. Nice job.
Yeah, nice little 4-yard gain that time for Hans, getting his feet wet early in this one. And keeping an eye on this defense, we expected them to play a 4-3-4. It looks like they're stacking the box.
Malachi Ward and Matthew Shaddle in on the tackle. 2nd down and 6 upcoming for the Hillmen. And they're going to play a lot of man defense. We'll see maybe Placer shows some more of those looks with 2 receivers. Very unaccustomed to seeing that. But the way Martin Haswell's thrown the ball lately, not a bad idea. We've got a stoppage in play here from the referees. 11 minutes, 14 seconds left here in the first quarter. Of course, scoreless with Placer on their first drive of the night. Ball in the center of the field at the 44-yard line, and Hillman moving from left to right.
I think Kyle Christensen's just got a talking to about moving the football pre-snap because he moved it up a little bit, and the referee emphatically picked it up and put it back, and now he's throwing a flag.
Wow.
What in the world is going on here?
They did throw a flag.
Yeah, he threw a flag.
And Christensen's talking to the umpire saying, what do you mean? I didn't move the ball. And now the umpire picks it up and shows it to him and says, look, you're moving the ball.
You can't move the ball. You have to pick it up.
Offense, 5 yards, play first down.
Well,
you know, I'll put Kyle Christensen's GP up against that guy any day of the week.
Absolutely. That is an absurd call. I'm sorry.
Nitpicky.
Yeah.
I'm going to show my strength as the guy on this. Come on now. It's high school football, son.
We don't need referees taking over a contest, especially this early. So now make it 2nd down and 11 as the balls move back to the Hillman 39-yard line. They'll stick with that 2-receiver set. You've got Russell and Logelin up top, and a handoff to Hans going over the right side. And Hans able to gain back 3 yards out to the 43-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 8 to be specific. Tackle on the play made by number 7, Matt White, and joined by Caleb Branscombe.
And again, as I mentioned, it looks like O'Dowd is stacking the box. We expected to see him in a 4-3 with some DBs. Their corners and their DBs are all the way up on the line of scrimmage. I know they got man-to-man, but you're only running a 1-receiver set. And you'll see the receiver go to the far side of the field as they're on the near hash. And everybody up front trying to stop the run. And
on this 3rd down play, here comes Hans, and he's met at the line. He's able to grind out a few yards, but it's not going to be nearly enough for the first down. Gain of 3 yards out to the 48-yard line, but it's going to bring up 4th down and 5. Hillman, maybe I have to punt on this one. Actually, they gave him a little bit more than I thought,
yeah, it was
Dave.
like a 6-yard gain.
That's a 6-yard gain out to the 49, so it will be 4th and short. I think Placer is in go territory here, right shy of midfield. The ball on the near hash, and Haswell's got the play. He's ready to go. Oh, maybe he won't go. Maybe he'll do the Mike Stuck / Peyton Manning / Brett Favre cadence. We'll find out. Christensen doesn't move the ball this time pre-snap. No nitpicky calls from the ref. Haswell will now, well, they'll blow up the play, and the Hillmen will call a timeout. We'll take it with them. No score here. 9:54 left here in the first quarter. It's Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI Radio. Welcome back. 4th and 1 for the Hillmen. They are going to go following the timeout. Again with the 2-receiver look up top. Here's a handoff going to Grossman. He's got the first down. 2 yards into Dragons territory. Good run by Grossman. Tackle made by Matthew Shaddle, number 54. And boy, O'Dowd has some size on that line. Shaddle playing a little bit of defensive tackle, and he makes the play.
Well, again, stacking the box. They're daring Placer to throw the football. Look where those DBs and safeties are. They're all the way up within 4 or 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Everybody up to stop the run.
Logelin and Grossman in the backfield. Fake it to Hans, give it to Logelin on the delayed handoff, and he's going to go over the right side and take a nice gainer down to the 41-yard line. 8 yards there for Dylan Logelin on first down. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 2.
2 carries, 28 yards for Logelin. 15 carries on 4, or 15 yards on 4 carries for Grossman. Only 2 guys to touch the ball so far. How long will Joey wait to go play action?
Matt White and Elijah Brown in on the tackle. 2nd down coming up for the Hillmen. Yeah, it looks like they did push that back a yard there, Dave. So a gain of 7 there for Logelin. 2nd down, split backs behind Haswell coming around the near side. With some room is Logelin. He's going to have the first down and more as he takes it from the 38-yard line all the way down. Actually, from the 42-yard line, I should say, down inside the 35, down to the 34. So that'll be a gain of 8 and a first down for the Hillmen. So Logelin looking good.
Yeah, they're getting it in chunks, and I don't know if you noticed after that first big run, they came back on that timeout. Everybody was double slapping his helmet, said, good to have you back, pal.
That is correct. Okay, Hillman ready to go, and it's going to be a handoff, and shedding the tackle and going across the far side is Guerra. And Guerra's going to take it from the 34-yard line. Let's see where they put this ball down. From the 34. That's going to be a 9-yard gain down to the 24-yard line. So from the 35 to the 24, second down and 1 upcoming. 9 yards for number 6.
Don't see a lot
Avery
of carries
Guerra.
out of number 6, Avery Guerra. As a matter of fact, you don't even have him on your stat sheet.
That I don't. But they've had to make some adjustments with Jesse out of the lineup tonight. And now here's a handoff.
Late too.
We've got a late flag coming in. The ball was carried by Grossman down to the 20-yard line.
Might
But
get
let's see
a
if this
hold on
holds.
this one. Not sure what it's going to be just yet, but it came in that area that it could possibly be a hold yet again. That'll be the second holding penalty on the Hillmen.
A lot of different looks, by the way, from the Hillman offense as far as formations. I mean, they're starting with that standard 2-back set in the back, but on that last play, they moved Guerra from the wing, kind of moved him back a few yards, and then handed off to him to the far side. This is going to be a penalty, though, it looks like. Here's the ref.
There's no flag on the play.
And they will pick it up. So the run by Hans will stand. And that was a 6-yard gain, right? So that should be the first down.
Yeah, it should give them a fresh set, and they still should be able to get another first before they get the touch.
Micah Yoakum checks in at tight end, spelling Mitchell Moore. Martin Haswell has the play, and we're ready to go here. Placer moving from left to right on their initial drive of this game. Already 4 minutes burned off the clock. They've taken it from their own 20 to the O'Dowd 20. Ball on the far hash as Haswell breaks the huddle under center, ready to go. Single back behind. Handed off to Logelin. Flag flies as Logelin takes it 4 yards down to the 16-yard line, but we'll have to see on this one.
I think Yoakum might have moved on the outside there. Could be either an illegal shift or a false start. Let's see what they're going to give it. Yep, illegal shift against the Hillmen.
So Davis and Shaddle on the stop, and this will move the Hillmen back from their 20 to the 25-yard line. So first down and 15 upcoming. Wipe that one off the board. A lot of rotations in here. We're going to see a bunch of different backs, it looks like, tonight. Dylan Logelin looking as advertised. When I got my preseason cheat sheet about the starters from Coach Montoya, he said, wait till you see this one. So there you go. I'll take it from the coach's mouth. All right, ready to go. Haswell under center. Fake it to Haas now. Delayed handoff to Logelin. He's met in the hole and driven back by a number 5, Malachi Ward. 1 yard on the play down to the 24-yard line. We got another flag on the field, Dave.
Yeah, it's already chippy out there, it seems like. Are they picking this flag up too? Because I don't see him marking anything or showing us or calling anything. Maybe that was not a flag.
Well, something yellow flew out of the official's pocket, but now the referee is taking a moment. Let's see here. He's coming over and actually talking to Coach Rodarty right now on the near side. But there was no penalty called, so it will be a gain of 1, second and 14 upcoming from the 24-yard line.
And Hillman keeping it on the ground. All the carries split between Grossman and Logelin so far.
Haswell ready to go. Grossman behind. And they'll fake it to Groth, and now it's going to pull it down and let it fly. Is Haswell, throws it down. And boy, it looked like that should be a penalty. Yeah, pass interference. Guerra was knocked down on the play by Jaden Davis, and they are going to call that on the Dragons.
And that should be, is it a 10-yard penalty?
Yes.
And an automatic first down, it should be. And that'll get them back down to that 10-yard line. But still, it looks like that far stick is short of the 10, so they can get a first down with yards to go.
Pass interference. Defense, number 3. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
So it's a 15-yard penalty, so they give them the 8.5.
Folks, if you haven't been out to this stadium yet, do not adjust your eyes. I mean, it is so beautiful here, Dave. It looks nothing like it did in years past.
It's so nice. So nice.
The ball will be moved to the 12-yard line, where it will be second and short. Now they're going to hand it off. Coming across the near side is Guerra. He's got a first down and more. 10-5, pushing his way towards the end zone. I think his knee dropped down at the 1 yard line, but that's going to be an 11-yard gain. First and goal, Hillman. Boy, Guerra hadn't had any carries before tonight, but he's certainly toted the rock well thus far.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I mentioned that it was only the 2, Grossman and Logelin. Guerra's so far down my list, I forgot to see him down there. So, yeah, all the carries between those 3 running backs so far, and the Hillmen doing what the Hillmen do, just getting a nice long drive going and pushing that ball down the field.
Now the Hillmen bring in a 2 tight end look. You've got Yoakum and Moore in there. Grossman and Groth in the backfield. Haswell under center. And that's going to be into the end zone by Grossman. Touchdown, Hillman. Hans taking it over right guard and barreling his way over a few O'Dowd defenders to give Placer the 6-0 lead. 6:23 left here in the first quarter. What a beautiful drive. Last week, the pass against Vista Del Lago. This week, all runs.
All runs. Just keep stuffing it down their throat, because if you take a look at the far sideline, not a lot of extra bodies over there for the Dragons. This could be a game of attrition.
Christensen will have the snap. Groth is your holder, and Alex the Bomber, Bond, B-O-H-N, with the bombing leg, because he kicked that 35-yard field goal against Vista in the last game, and he's going to put it through the left upright. 7-0 Placer with the lead. 6:23 left here in the first quarter of play. Casey and Dave with you. Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
This is Hans Grossman, class of 2020 fullback, and you're listening to Friday Night Football on the Foothills on KAHI.
A 11-play, 80-yard drive, eating 5:10 off the clock. Point good, 7-0 Hillmen. Now we got to play a little defense. We've seen this happen before, and altogether too many times this season, where you come out, you get a nice drive, you go down the field, and then turn around and give up something quick and let them right back in it. This is where Eric Rodarti's defense really needs to step up, and let's get that first stop of the game early tonight.
Now, following the kick, or I should say during the kick, there was a personal foul penalty called on, I guess, on Placer, and they're going to move this one back a little bit. I didn't see anything. I mean, there's already been a little extracurricular going on.
So they're going to march this 15 yards back. And just when we're saying you need something good to happen, maybe get a good stop, instead of kicking it off from the 40, they're going to kick this ball off from the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that they are. But I didn't see anything really on the kick, so I'm not quite sure who it was called on. But ready to go here will be Bishop, and they're going to have a chance to return this one, obviously, now that Bond has been backed up.
Boy, that's an awful lot of space between the deep backs and the second line of attack.
That touchdown by the Hillmen brought to you by the Man Cave, 923 Lincoln Way in downtown Auburn. Thanks to owner Christopher for sponsoring every Hillman touchdown this year. Check out the specials on Facebook. They also have some entertaining posts on that Man Cave Facebook page as well. Alex Bond ready to kick it off. Jaden Davis back deep in the center of the field for Bishop. Kind of an interesting kickoff formation, as Dave mentioned. A huge gap there. And if you know Placer, you know they like to pooch occasionally. Let's see what Bond does here. And Bond is going to kick it into that free space there. It will be fielded at the 22-yard line by Davis.
Back right there.
We got a block in the back, and the flag will fly.
Goes.
Davis goes out across the 32-yard line, but this one's going to be backed up.
Yeah, they're going to flag that from the 25 back the other direction.
That kickoff brought to you by Auburn Trophies and More. Thanks to Connie for sponsoring high school football here on KAHI. Check her out at 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Shopping Center. Well, Dave, the Placer defense, who has seen the offense we're about to watch here many, many times, I think. And following the penalty, we're going to back Bishop up inside. Well,
basically,
they're going to put that back at the 20, I think?
It's basically a touchback.
Yeah, basically a touchback. All right, so the Bishop O'Dowd Dragons out of Oakland, a private school, 0-4. They played a tough schedule. They'll be moving from right to left here as we get things going for them on their initial drive. Placer burning a ton of clock. 6:16 left here in the first quarter. So Madden and company step out here, and we'll tell you a little bit more about him as we get going. This is going to be a delayed handoff coming across the near side is Jaden Davis, and Davis got some room, taking it all the way from the 20 out to the 35-yard line. Good 15-yard run, 16-yard run, and now we got a flag down.
Another flag. It's just been a laundry fest early tonight.
My goodness, it has been. This is ugly. I mean, I like it when we don't mention the officials. That's what I like about our games. And when we do, it's never a good thing.
Placer, it looks like.
Space, defense, 5 yards, first down.
So instead of a 15-yard gain, it's going to be the equivalent to a 20-yard gain with a 5-yard hands to the face penalty.
So as far as this O'Dowd offense, players to watch include Jesse Madden, the quarterback, number 12, Jaden Davis, who just carried it 16 yards, the running back there. Also Sapili Fanua, Paul McKenzie as well. Here's Madden dropping back, 3-step drop. He's going to throw it up in the air, and it's going to be, should have been picked off by the Hillmen. He overthrew his intended target. number 9, Ryan Norris, and Placer almost had that pick.
Yeah, Ryzen Norris let it get through his hands, and it went right into the hands of the DB out there. And who was that? Was that Logan Groff?
Yep, that was
So
Logan
right
Groff.
through Logan, he went through the hands of both players. Logan Groff, I think he started running before he had the football. He was so sure that ball was going to go right into his hands. So Madden, 0 for his first. Interesting name, Madden.
Yes, it is. He is the grandson of NFL legend and video game billionaire John Madden. So
It's in the
Madden ready
game.
to go. Now we've got an I formation behind, and it's going to be a handoff to the tailback Davis. Davis met in the backfield, and he's going to be dragged down. Great job of penetration there by the Hillmen to drop Davis for a yard. Keith Messerall, I believe, was in on that one. Also, number 52, Evan Robinson, the one of the leading tacklers on this team. Great job penetration there, Dave.
Well, we need to see this from the Hillman defense, especially against a team they expect to play more of a pro-style offense where they're going to try to establish the run to set up the pass. They're not a spread team so far that we've seen, and if this defense can step up tonight, especially that front four, and start making some stops on these running attacks, maybe the Hillman can get those early stops they're looking for, and here's their first opportunity.
2 receivers to either side. Under center is Madden. Takes a 7-step drop. A little bit of pressure. Now looking to run it. And he's going to be taken down for another loss.
Yeah.
Finally dragged to the ground by number 64 for the Hillmen, Keith Messerall. Madden is going to drop a ton of yardage going from the 40-yard line all the way back to the 34. So a 6-yard loss. And it's going to be punt time here for the O'Dowd Dragons. Boy, have we seen the Hillmen come out on defense like that at all this year? Not on the first drive. That was phenomenal.
That was great defensive front play that time by the Hillmen. No time for Madden to pass. Good coverage in the defensive backfield, and now they got to kick it away.
All right, Hillman ready to go. Back deep is Nate Russell. He awaits the ball at his own 30-yard line. It's not even going to get there. Maybe so. Boy, that was not a great kick.
No, you don't see end-over-end kicks like that to go side. I think somebody might have got a hand on that.
That punter, Francisco Romero, number 62, and either somebody got a hand on it or he kind of binked it because that thing went out of bounds at the 35. Placer in business, taking over at their own 35-yard line. 7-0 lead, 4:19 left here in the first quarter of play.
So another set of good field position at their own 35 with that 4:19 on the clock here in Q1. Let's see what they come out with this time.
Now, as far as, well, we'll get into that when they get back on offense. Let's stick with the Hillmen here as they are ready to go. Haswell under center, split backs behind. It's going to be a handoff to Guerra. Grossman trying to set up the blocks, but good penetration there by O'Dowd. Jaden Davis, the lead tackler there, joined by Colin Vardell, and we'll tell you about his pedigree.
That sweep looked good for a nanosecond, and then Davis kind of turned it back in, and Vardell came and just cleaned it up. Nice play that time for no gain.
Yeah, no gain there, and Vardell, well, what he is the son of touchdown Tommy Vardell, Stanford legend, and I believe he played for the Broncos.
And now we got another stoppage at clock. What's going on here?
Friday night football in the foothills brought to you by Auburn Ford, Keith Thomas State Farm Insurance, River Valley Community Bank, Truck Smart. How about Depot Bay Coffee Roasters, our friends at Robinson Sand and Gravel, and Mel's Diner. We'll select the Mel's Diner player of the game at the conclusion of this. Now, while we have a moment, Dave, a lot of teams do us a favor as broadcasters, and they put team stats on Max Preps. That's the website of note for people preparing, as we hear from the referee. Well, we thought we were going to hear from the referee. They're still discussing it.
Well, it's something against the Hillmen. It's another penalty against Placer. And was this the third or fourth already this game? Or no, they're not going to march it off.
Okay, so there was no gain on that play. But what I was saying is Bishop O'Dowd does not put stats on Max Prep, so I can't kind of reel off numbers for these kids. We're going to get to know them as you do here during the course of the football game. Placer ready to go here. 2nd and 10, ball at their own 35, right there in the center of the field. The Hillmen with the receiver to either side. They're going to hand it off, coming around the near side. And not much doing there for Dylan Logelin. He's going to take it 2 yards up to the 37-yard line.
And that time, you know, Logelin not being as familiar with the offense, having not played enough, Haswell had to move him, and when he moved him, I think it might have tipped off to where the play might be going, and that's why O'Dowd responded as they did.
Ward and Vardell in on the tackle. It's going to be 3rd and long for the Hillmen. Ball here on the near side of the field. Plenty of room to the far side. Let's see what Placer can cook up. Dylan's going to take a little break here on the sidelines as Haswell has the play. A lot of different looks here for Placer. Grossman and Guerra split backs behind. Fake it to Hans now, coming around the near side with a head of steam is Logan Gruff. Bangs his head into a defender and takes it out to the 44-yard line, but it is going to be 2 yards shy. So that'll be a gain of 6 yards, but Placer needed 8, and it's going to be 4th down. What do you do here, Park?
You kick it away.
I think so too.
It's too early in the
We got
game.
another flag on the
especially in
field.
Another one? Are we going to get to play this game
Yeah, can
tonight?
we play some football tonight? That'd be awesome.
During the run, holding 32. That'll be 10-yard penalty, replay the down.
So they're going to pick Micah Yoakum up with the hold during the play, and the Dragons will take the penalty.
Oh, heck yeah.
I agree. And back Placer up. The ball will be moved back all the way near the 30-yard line.
You decline the penalty, the more likely you're going to get the ball on the next possession. They're going to kick it away. You're not going to go for it
Exactly.
on 4th down and that kind of yardage is in your own territory.
Well, it's going to be a 3rd and 15. The ball backed up to the Hillman 30-yard line. O'Dowd will have to do it again, and I'm telling you, it's been about 80% flags. It's a flag fest here in the first quarter with Placer leading 7-zip. Clock ticks down to 2.5 minutes left in the quarter. Under center is Haswell. Now Martin's going to scramble to the far side, set those feet, looking, throws it to the near side downfield.
Oh,
the
my
catch is
goodness.
made by Nate Russell at the 40, makes a spin move to the 35-30, to the 20, he's to the 10, looking to make one more cut all the way down to the 5-yard line goes Nate Russell. What a great play. Absolutely phenomenal there by Russell. That is going to be a 60-yard gain. 1st and goal, Hillman.
Well, he almost Mahomes that.
Oh, was that Bender on the play? Not Russell. My mistake. Sam Bender with the big catch, and they are going to move it back 2 yards. So instead of 60, 58 yards. 58 yards on that play for Sam
He
Bender.
Mahomes that. I don't know if you saw what he did. He looked, and he actually was looking off so hard that when he came back, everybody moved.
All right, Haswell up under center, ready to go. 1st and goal, Hillman from the 7. Fake it to Hans, hand it to Logelin, pushing his way towards the 5-yard line. Gang tackled on the play by number 7, Matt White. And number 32, Caleb Branscombe. So it'll be a gain of, well, let's see if they put it down to 6 of the 5. We'll give them a gain of 1, and it will be 2nd down and goal upcoming for the Hillmen. Looking very good after the longest pass play of the season.
And that play was made possible because he had really good protection. Haswell had to step up in the pocket not once but twice, and again, did a great job of looking off the defensive backs, came back to the other way, and found his wide open receiver.
2nd and goal for the Hillmen. Ball at the 5-yard line in the center of the field. Now they're going to hand it off to Logelin, making a cut, pushing his way towards the end zone and into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillman. Dylan Logelin, his first touchdown of the season at the varsity level, extending the Placer lead to 13-0. A minute 9 left here in the first quarter. Boy, things are going very smoothly tonight for this wing T offense with a little bit of pass mixed in.
And we got what we wanted. We got a defensive stop. We got stymied a couple times on that drive by penalties, but managed to make it work on that big pass play. Martin Haswell just putting it in a perfect spot.
Here's the extra point attempt. High snap, good recovery by Groth, and Bond puts it through. That touchdown brought to you by the Man Cave. 923 Lincoln Way in downtown Auburn. Hey, they're open 11 to 5 tomorrow. Stop by, get yourself some football merchandise. Why don't you? Tell them KAHI Radio sent you. 14-0. Placer with the lead. A minute 9 left here in the first quarter. It's Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
This is Mike Yoakum, class of 2020, defensive end, and you're listening to Friday Night Football and the Foothills on KAHI Radio.
6 plays, 65 yards, eating 3:10 off the clock. The Hillmen up 14-0. Key play in the drive was that big pass from Martin Haswell to Sam Bender of 56 yards, getting him down into scoring territory. And hey, look, no penalty on any of the plays. We're actually going to get kickoff from the 40.
Well, Placer leading 14-zip, a very impressive couple of drives here for the Hillmen. Dylan Logelin picking up his first touchdown of the season, and Alex Bond is going to bomb this into the end zone, where Bishop will let it go and take it out to the 20-yard line. Dragons trailing 14-zip. Now, Dave, as in all fairness, it's a small roster to begin with. I can never print one roster on one page size. They only had 32 kids, but they're missing one of their best players. Their head coach is Napoleon Kaufman, of course, Oakland Raiders legend. His son, Nehemiah Kaufman, not in the lineup tonight. That's a big hit.
Yeah, they're missing him. They're missing one of their wide receivers. They're missing another running back. So, yeah, they're a little bit depleted right now.
And Placer certainly taking advantage of that. Let's see what the Hillmen can do here on defense. 4-man front. Madden steps under center, split backs behind him. And Jesse with the snap, quick three-step drop, throws it over to the near side. The catch is made, but for a very minor gain to Sterling Stokes, son of JJ. And that'll be taken out to the 23-yard line. 3-yard gain, tackle on the play made by Adrian Monroe. Boy, JJ Stokes' son, Napoleon Kaufman's son, John Madden's grandson, and touchdown Tommy Vardell's kid. What a roster.
Yeah, and you know, you got a kid, a guy that's a former Raider, and that's why I think they like this kind of pro set. We don't see a lot of teams with two backs in the backfield, running the quick outs, running the halfback stuff. It's just a whole different look than what we're used to.
So now they'll send 3 receivers to the top of the formation. Single back deep behind Madden. He's under center. 5-step drop.
Got it.
And he's going to be taken down. Great job of penetration there by the Hillmen. Sacked by Micah Yoakum. And Micah loves doing things like that. That's his team leading. He's got 5.5 on the season. And that will drag him back to the 20-yard line.
Well, good pressure that time. Micah just took that tackle and pushed him into the backfield, shed him to his right, and went inside of him. It wasn't even a swim move. He just pushed him out of the way, shed, wrapped, and dropped. Great play that time by Yoakum.
And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. An impressive display by the Placer Hillmen. It's 14-0. Hillmen leading Bishop O'Dowd. We'll be back with more. It's Friday Night Football in the Foothills. This is KAHI Radio. Thank you, Tart. Here it's 14-0. Placer with 2 time-consuming drives ending up in touchdowns in the first quarter. Hans Grossman from a yard out and Dylan Logelin able to take it in from, 5 yards out on that touchdown for Logelin for us?
5.
Yeah, 5-yard touchdown run there. So 14-zip as we flip ends of the field. And this Placer defense, Dave, has really come out strong.
Well, it's their second opportunity for a shutdown drive as it's 3rd and 11, so let's see what they do.
Madden back there in the pistol, trips to the near side. He'll take a 3-step drop, looking, pressure comes. He's leveled on the throw, and that made it go high. Boy, great job again by that Hillman front getting in there. He was absolutely lit up by Jaden DeRoche. My goodness, did he hit him hard when he threw that ball.
And give equal credit to Logan Groff hitting the receiver as he extended for that ball, too. Boy, you expose those ribs, somebody's going to hit you. And that was a nice hit by Logan Groff on that, and that brings up a 4th down, a second consecutive 3 and out for the Hillmen.
Hillman defense coming to play. They want our Mel's Diner player of the game card tonight, don't they, Parv? We'll announce that at the end of this contest. Nate Russell awaits the kick at his own 45-yard line off the leg of Romero.
And he dropped it.
And he dropped it. He's able to recover.
Still
the ball's
out there.
Still moving around, squirting around on the turf. And Placer is able to hop on it. Boy, that was dangerous. Logelin finally got in there and recovered it. The Hillmen will have the ball at their own 45-yard line, moving from right to left.
Really surprised that he tried to make that catch. There was traffic around him as the ball was coming down, and it's, I've never been a punt returner, but I can imagine watching the ball, and out of the corner of your eye, you're seeing this guy with a black helmet and some gold pants coming flying your way. It's got to take your concentration a little bit in the wrong direction. I think that's what happened there.
They'll move it up a yard, so the Hillmen take over with 11:44 left in the second quarter. Ball at their own 46-yard line on the far hash, as I mentioned, moving from left to right and rotating in a whole bunch of players are the Placer Hillmen. Austin Hollitzson there at receiver. Haswell has the play. Christensen up there, not moving the ball around. It's going to be a handoff coming to the near side to Guerra. Great block there by the Hillmen, and Guerra is able to wiggle his way up to the 49-yard line, 4-yard game, and then a flag flies.
They might call that a hold. It was a good hook block. I mean, I thought he came back and did a good job, but I think they're going to call a hold here. Push in the back. Turn your mic on.
Yeah, he's got a mic. Can we hear it? Well, it was a 4-yard gain. The tackle was made by Shaddle, and now they're going to back the Hillmen up all the way inside their own 40. The ball will be put down at the 39-yard line, and that is a lengthy first down upcoming here for Placer. 1st and 18 now, as Haswell and company are ready to go. 3rd drive of the game, Placer scored touchdowns on the first 2, leading 14-0 and looking very, very confident, especially with their run game tonight, although the biggest play of the night has been a pass. Let's see what they can do here. Haswell with split backs behind. It'll be a handoff to Grossman. Grossman kind of lost his footing trying to gain some momentum there. Hans is able to take it out for 3 yards to the 42-yard line. Tackled on the play there by Michael Cooley, and again with Shadow. Boy, that Shadow kid is everywhere, Dave.
Yeah, he's playing a good game, and again, as we were talking on the last break, they've got good pursuit speed, do these Dragons. They are not a slow football squad, and I'm just afraid they're going to finally realize we'll just let them do what they do on offense and chase them down. Hillmen are going to need more than 14 for sure tonight.
Yes, absolutely. Got to score on every drive, but always great when the defense can come out and pitch a shutout in the first quarter. Really, you could feel the confidence in the stadium. By the way, a packed house here on the Hillman side. O'Dowd didn't travel very strong. A lot of empty seats over there on the far side.
Well, they're enjoying the game on KAHI at KAHI.com tonight.
I hope so. Hello, Oakland. Thank you for being with us here. Casey and Dave with you. Haswell under center. He'll fake it, and now he's going to drop back, move to the near side.
That's a
short-armed it a little bit. And will the Hillmen get the call? My goodness,
think they
what a
might.
lucky break.
Because the Hillman receiver, Logan Groth, was coming back for the football, and he was held by the defensive back for O'Dowd that time, Jermaine Brewer.
Wow, that was a little bit of a break because Martin did not put everything behind that. I mean, the kid's got a gun and a cannon when he needs to, but that thing wobbled out there.
It was fluttering pretty badly.
Placer.
Defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
I think the guy in the white hat has finally realized he's not supposed to give the numbers to the kids that make the penalties in high school, and he did that the first three times. I think he realized, oh wait, this isn't college.
We'll do it occasionally, but more so when it's on them.
So that pass interference call, in essence, is a really good completion. Gets them out of a hole, gets them another fresh set of downs, and causes the Dragons to call timeout.
14-0 Placer, 10:32 left in the second quarter. It's Friday Night Football in the Foothills, and this is KAHI Radio.
This is Kyle Christensen, class of 2020, center and long snapper, and you're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
First and 10 for the Hillman, ball at the 43-yard line of Bishop O'Dowd. Placer moving from right to left here in the second quarter, leading 14-zip, handed off to Grossman, who is met by defenders and just bowls them over like he does and keeps moving his legs, taking it all the way down to the 35-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 8 yards. He turned nothing into 8 yards, Dave. That's what he does.
He got hit 2 or 3 different times, and all he did was keep those legs moving, turned his body this way, turned his body that way. Guys were popping him. I think Hans has had enough. He's seen enough of this O'Dowd team. He says, just give me the football. Let me do my thing.
Malachi Ward and Rizon Norris in on the tackle. Second and short, second and 2 specifically upcoming.
And here's something you don't see often. Grossman at the receiver spot.
Hans down low. Haswell under center. It's going to be a handoff to A.J. Ferreira. Quicking his way through the hole. A.J. getting ahead of speed to the 20. Makes a cut inside the 15. Boy, A.J. Ferreira with a great job there. Taking it all the way down to the 13-yard line. Dave, that's going to be a gain of 20 yards and 22 yards, I should say, and a first down for the Hillmen.
Well, I think they probably put a few plays in for A.J., and he took advantage this time. He's having me adjust my scorebook. Did you say 20 on that?
Yeah.
Nice going, A.J.
So first down for the Hillmen.
It's almost like Jesse Wiggum by committee tonight.
Absolutely. And the line is doing a phenomenal job blocking. Now you've got Guerra and Grossman in the backfield. Handed off to Guerra. He slips a little bit across the 10. Tackled by Norris there. And he'll take it all the way down near the 5-yard line. So that's going to be a pretty darn good game there, Dave. In fact, we'll call that 8 yards, and it'll bring up a second down and 2.
And I think at this point, O'Dowd's just not sure who is whom on the running back committee tonight, and every time they see a different guy, a guy's coming in a little fresher and a little quicker, and this defense has been on the field for a heck of a long time. This drive started at 11:44. It's rolling under 9 minutes right now, and the Hillmen have already gotten drives of 5:10 and 3:10.
Under 7 minutes now. Hand off to Grossman over the far side, near side I should say, and into the end zone. Touchdown Hillmen. Hans Grossman taking it between the left guard and tackle and extending this Placer lead to 20-0. Hans' second touchdown run of the night, and it is all Placer here in the first half. Dave, great point made right there before the snap. Lots of time being consumed, and what you're doing is you are tiring out that defense with fresh running backs, then give it to the beast who you cannot stop with one player.
And again, as we've said so many times, by the time the middle of the third quarter rolls around and you've been on that field 14, 15, 16 minutes, taking that punishment from Hans Grossman, you're going to back away.
High snap and a good recovery by Groth, and Alex Bond splits the uprights. That touchdown brought to you by the Man Cave. Thanks to owner Christopher for sponsoring Placer football here on KAHI. The Hillmen leading 21-0, 6:50 left in the first half. We'll be right back. Welcome back, 21-0 Placer with the lead. By the way, I was mistaken. The clock is at 8:50. Some of the bulbs were burned out on the far side. So that drive took, what, a little over 4 minutes, it looked like. They got it with 11.
No, it's actually less. They got it with 11 at 2:54, I want to say, on the drive, if that's 8 minutes.
This kickoff brought to you by Auburn Trophies is more, I should say. Check them out at auburntrophies.com and on Facebook as well at Auburn Trophies. Alex Bond bombs it into the end zone. Another touchback and another drive starting at the Bishop O'Dowd 20 with this team trailing 21-0. And they've got to be a little deflated, Dave. A, their offense has had 2 3-and-outs in a row, and B, their defense has not slowed down Placer 1 nanosecond.
And they've been on the field an awful long time. 3, 6, 5 is 11, almost 11 minutes and 20 seconds of a 12-minute quarter, and we've only played, 3:10 in this quarter?
Yep.
So they've been on the field, that defense has a long, long time.
High formation behind the quarterback. Madden's going to throw it out to the far side to Stokes. Or actually, that's Norris. And Norris is going to take it across the 20 up to the 30 and pick up a first down. 11 yards there for Norris. And finally, O'Dowd able to do something on first down. Actually, make it a gain of 13 out to the 33-yard line. First down for the Dragons.
So Rizon Norris gets his first catch of the night.
Note him for the all-name team.
Yeah, I like that Rizon. That's a cool name.
Absolutely. So first down for O'Dowd, moving from left to right and trailing 21-0 with 6.5 minutes left here in the first half of play. Madden steps under center, single back deep behind. They'll hand it off to Davis, and he's going nowhere as he's met by the entire Hillman front, led by number 52, Evan Robinson. And that'll be a gain of 2 yards picked up there by Davis.
And again, they're in more of a pro set kind of formation. The Hillman defense aren't going to have to worry about the spread all that much. You just got to play man up on that offense against defense. And the defensive line right now is winning the battle up front, thus shedding tacklers and stuffing those holes. And the running game isn't getting off.
Second down and 8 upcoming. Again, kind of this pro set. They've got the eye right now behind Madden. They'll give it to the deep back Davis. He's going to try and find room on the far side. He will not. He's going to lose a yard. Great job again. The entire Hillman defense in front. Micah Yoakum in there. Also joined by number 52. Again, Evan Robinson. Boy, there was about 4 Hillman over there, and that will be a loss of 1. Great job by this Hillman front. Dave, I'm surprised with the size of their wide receivers and, in theory, the speed of them, that they've been kind of sticking with this dink and dunk stuff here.
Yeah, I am really surprised that they haven't tried anything down the seam. They haven't really done any out and ups, any of the things we've seen the Hillman get beat on. And most likely that's due to the fact that the Hillman line is getting good pressure on their quarterback.
Third down and 9. Here's Madden back under center. He's going to be pressured, and he'll shed the tackle. He's going to find some room, scramble to the near side. The pass is complete for the first down. Into Hillman territory goes Sterling Stokes. Boy, they turned something terrible into something 18 yards later that turns out to be pretty nice.
Yeah, had him dead to rights in the backfield, not once but twice, and he managed to wiggle free and kept that eyes downfield. Found his receiver just sitting down.
Russell and Monroe on the tackle. First down, Dragons, and they needed that. Boy, Madden eluded the pressure. Robinson was right there about to drag him down.
What was the gain on that?
He stepped through it. That'll be 16 yards, and it's a first down for O'Dowd in Hillman territory at the Placer 48-yard line. Again, that eye look behind Madden, who's back under center. And this time they will hand it off to Davis going across the far side. And again, the Hillmen are there.
We've got another
We've
penalty
got a
flag,
penalty
too.
flag down. Robinson, the lead tackler once again.
Evan Robinson's having a game so far. He's just figured out what they're trying to do on that offensive line, and he's just diving in between people, getting low and pulling people down. And I think that's on O'Dowd. Finally.
Yep.
Joey going to take this one?
Holding. Offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Yeah, you take this one here.
Yeah, back them into their own
Back in their own
territory.
territory. Well, again, another good defensive play, however, by the Hillmen. They had to hold because there were too many green shirts in pursuit, and O'Dowd just didn't have any way to keep them out.
Matthew Maloney in their defensive tackle. Again, Mitchell Moore and Micah Yoakum are playing like men possessed. They are just phenomenal up there on the line so far. DeRoche there on the right tackle position at defense. Now Madden's going to be back in a pistol, back to his left, looking to the far side, and it's going to be too high for his intended target, number 26, Ethan Ford. And it is going to be second down and 20 upcoming.
And if he keeps throwing balls high like that, his receivers are just going to give up on him because that's the second time somebody's had to extend. And 3 Hillmen, they're ready to put helmets in the gut.
Actually, second down and 22 upcoming here as they're backed up into their own territory. This is a phenomenal performance thus far. I can't say it enough by this Hillman defense. They have really come out strong. Now they're going to move that ball up to the 41-yard line, so I
Which
guess
is
we'll make it
actually where it should have been.
Yeah, second down and 19 as Madden barks out the play in the huddle. Jesse Madden, that is, the 185-pound, about 6'3" junior. Well, I'll call him 6'1". We don't have the specific heights. That's my guess from the spectacle look here. It's a high
They
snap.
come with the blitz.
Here comes the blitz, and he's going to let it go. That should be intentional grounding, I think. Maybe
Three was
not.
on the ground down
All
there. He
right.
saw him and kind of tried to dump it off in that direction. That's another good rush by the Hillmen. That time they actually brought extra pressure, and they're just overwhelming that offensive line of O'Dowd right now. It's
Once
an incomplete
again,
pass.
guess who's in on the quarterback, Dave?
Let me guess.
Evan
Robinson,
Yeah.
possibly? Yeah.
My goodness, that kid is playing like a man possessed tonight. Robinson's had a great season for the Hillmen. Tied for the lead in tackles on the season with Logan Groth at 30 already through just 4 games entering play tonight.
Well, he's possessed, and he'd like to be possessed in a Mel's gift card.
That he would. You know, I had Mitchell Moore in studio with me along with Logan Groth on Thursday for our Thursdays on the Hill. I told Mitchell off the air, I think you're going to have a great shot. And I told him, tell Evan, I think he's going to have a shot too.
Nice.
Feeling like Nostradamus here. Trips up top. Back in the pistol is Matt. Again, it's a high snap. He recovers. Looking downfield. He's going to let everything go with that. And it should have been intercepted. In the air for that one was Nate Russell, and he couldn't haul it down. But
That's
once
two.
again, a lot of pressure coming.
Two that might have been picked. But again, another stop by the Hillman defense.
4th down upcoming, and they will be punting it away as the big boy, Francisco Romero, 260 pounds of senior punter, steps onto the field for Bishop O'Dowd. Nate Russell awaits the punt back at his own 26-yard line. It's a good snap, plenty of time, not a great kick again, and Russell's going to let it go. And wow, that's going to bounce out of bounds right near the 38-yard line where
That
Placer
barely
will
passed
have it.
the line to make. And they ate some time off the clock themselves there, so they spent 2:46 with the ball and came up with nothing. Hillman are going to get back with 5:57 to go.
And they'll put it down to the 39-yard line. Placer has it, leading 21-zip, 5:57 left here in the first half of play. And Placer looking very good tonight. A lot of new plays, Dave, that we had not seen thus far this season. Some new faces, and it is all turning into success thus far. Hillman have scored on each drive. Now they're ready to go, hand it off to Grossman as he drags defenders with him, keeps moving those legs, and again turns what could have been a mediocre run into a 6-yard gash out to the 46-yard line. Great job of running there by Hans. In fact, we'll call that a gain of 7.
And you can already see it paying dividends. Those guys are trying to get him, and he's putting helmets in thighs, he's putting helmets in hips, he's putting helmets in stomachs. And you're just going to give up after a while. You're going to say, you know what, I want no part of this guy.
Yeah. One of the great players in the Sac Joaquin section in the Foothill Valley League has a couple of elite guys that are going to have a shot at Division I, and Hans is certainly one of them. He'll be the lone back behind. Now they're going to motion him to the near side. Haswell's going to take a 5-7-step drop, throw it over the middle. The catch is made by Mitchell Moore, his first catch of the season.
Coming back.
And the flag is going to bring this back. That's a darn shame. I was hoping Mitchell might catch one. I told him so on the air.
Yeah, maybe they're going to get a hold here. And they came from way back there. Illegal shift.
2-minute motion,
Yeah.
offense, 5-yard penalty, replay second down.
And sometimes you get excited when you know the ball's coming to you, and I don't know if it was Mitchell that went in motion, but somebody moved at the same time, and they bring it back.
So now it'll be a 2nd down and 8 for the Hillmen.
But you could see it was a perfect call at the perfect time. Nobody was back there with him, and you lead him out a little further, he might have gotten more yardage. Unfortunately, a mistake by someone else on the offense negates that good-looking play.
Yeah, I was hoping Mitchell might get his first catch. That would have been the first tight end catch of the year for the Placer Hillmen. Last year, Lewis Fudge certainly had his share of catches and touchdowns, and we'll see if they maybe try that again at some point. Back under center is Haswell. Go back to the well with Grossman, who's got a lane, and now he is going to be gone. Hans Grossman running down the field inside the 10-5 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillmen. Hans Grossman takes it 58 yards to pay dirt, and Placer extends this lead to 27-zip.
Wow. And he hit that hole quickly. I didn't think he was, when he first got the ball, you're thinking, okay, and then bang, gone into that secondary, and nobody at the second level, and we know the pursuit speed of O'Dowd. I almost thought you got that call a little early. I was thinking that, I saw that guy chasing. I'm thinking, is he really going to get there? And you had him in the end zone, but yeah, he outran him. Nice play by Hansi.
Absolutely. Taking it from the Hillman 42 and putting it into the end zone was Hans Grossman. 58 yards later, it's 28 zip. Placer all over Bishop O'Dowd. 4:41 left in the first half. It's Friday Night Football in the Foothills.
Two plays, 61 yards, 1 minute, 16 seconds off the clock. Hillman 28, Dragons nada.
That touchdown for the fourth time tonight brought to you by the Man Cave. 923 Lincoln Way in downtown Auburn. You like pop culture, you like sports, owner Christopher's got something for you. Decorate that cave, furnish it. Courtesy of the Man Cave, 923 Lincoln Way. That kickoff brought to you by Auburn Trophies and more. AuburnTrophies.com. They are on Facebook, and we thank Connie as well.
I'll tell you what, these O'Dowd Dragons, they've had a long field on every position. The first one with the penalty started at their own 20. 3 ensuing kickoffs have been out of the end zone by Mr. Bond. And own 20 is no place you want to start consecutively.
Absolutely not. Contrast that with the Hillmen, who have started at their own 20, own 35, own 46, and own 39, and cashed in every single one of them to lead 28 zip here with 4:41 left in the first half. Hans Grossman with 3 first half touchdowns. And Hans, you're going to have to work for that Mel's Diner Player of the Game card. I told you, we already gave you one last week against Vista after that 5 touchdown performance. Here comes O'Dowd moving across the far side. The carry by number 26, Ethan Ford. And he'll take it out to the 27-yard line. So a 7-yard gain there. Tackled on the play by Logan Groff.
Well, it looks like they're going to the bench to look for anybody that's going to give them a spark. Ethan Ford is not one of those guys that gets a lot of playing time. Senior 180-pound running back and safety gets his first carry of the night.
All right, 2nd down and 3 upcoming. Madden's going to step back up under center. I formation behind. 7-step drop, looking to the far side, short side of the field. Now he's going to have to scramble to that far side. Flag flies as he throws it out there, intended for number 15, Sapili Fanua, and that's going to be a hold on the O'Dowd offensive line.
It's got to be. That's where the flag came from. Let me see if he steps up and said, but Fanua gets his first target of the day. Yep. When it's going bad, well, it's just going to keep going bad.
Well,
and right now it's going bad for the Dragons.
The thing that's hard to figure, we'll let the referee get the call in.
Offense, number 75, 10-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
And he is calling out the number, so we'll name him Adam Johnson there on the hold. Dave, what I can't figure, you're on the far hash. It's the short side of the field. You've got a right-handed quarterback, and yet he is scrambling to his left side where you could get no momentum to get a throw down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. He finally got the ball down the field. Again, good pressure by the Placer defense. Everybody in green is just chasing the ball real well tonight.
So it's going to be 2nd down and forever. 2nd and 20. The Dragons backed all the way up to their own 10-yard line. They'll change up the look now with 3 receivers to the near side. Single back deep behind Madden, who remains under center. He'll take a 7-step drop, throw it over the middle. It's going to be picked off by the Hillmen. Picked off by Placer, and making his way towards the end zone is going to be our future player of the game, Evan Robinson, into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillmen. It's a blowout here in the first half, and Evan Robinson, the team leading tackler, has himself a pick 6. Placer all over Bishop, 34-0 here with 3:44 left in the first half. The team celebrating on the sideline. This kid, I'm telling you, man, he's all heart. He loves the physicality of the game, and he earned himself a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a very nice pick. He's his backer. He drops back into the zone he's supposed to be in. Reading the eyes of the quarterback, he tried to stare down the receiver. Evans said, thank you very much, and then made a heck of a run to the outside, picked up a lot of blocking help, and pushed it into the end zone for the Placer touchdown.
The 5th touchdown of the first half brought to you by the Man Cave, 923 Lincoln Way. Get that money tonight, Christopher. Your sponsorship dollars at work. Placer 35, Bishop zip. 3:44 left here in the first half. It's Friday Night Football in the Foothills. Casey and Dave with you on KAHI. Evan Robinson taking it into the end zone. Well, it was roughly, 25 yards out there? Did he pick them right around the 23, 25?
25-yard line, but he just made a nice drop. He settled back, knew the pass play was coming, read the quarterback's eyes, as I was saying, and there it is.
And here's a kick by Bond, and it's going to go off the Dragons. They're going to have to field it back at their 5-yard line, out across the 10, 15. Goes number 7, Matt White. He'll be dropped at the 17-yard line, where Bishop will take over. 1st and 10, trailing by a huge margin. Now, Dave, coming into the game, we said this team had played some of the heavyweights, one of the best schedules in the nation thus far. But thus far, injuries have taken their toll. Missing their lead running back, Coach Kaufman's son, Nehemiah, has certainly hurt them. And Placer has just dominated this football game like we haven't seen it dominate a game. They haven't dominated like this since last year is my point.
Yeah, definitely not dominating like this since a year ago. But, boy, I'll tell you, all cylinders tonight. And that bye week really starting to show up on the side of the green and gold.
Now, they're not going to change it up much. They start in the I formation. Now they'll motion the up back. Madden back under center, takes a 5-step drop with time, throws it to the far side. And that is going to be caught, but not much doing over there. And now a penalty flag flies. The pass was caught by Ethan Ford, who takes it.
Maybe a couple.
Yeah,
three.
maybe two.
Let's see what the flag is. I wonder if they grabbed him by a face mask, or is this going to go against the Dragons? No, it's against us.
A horse collar tackle on the play. So it's a 2-yard gain.
Give him extra 15 on the horse collar.
Yeah. So that's going to put the ball out near the 35-yard line. O'Dowd will have it, trailing pretty desperately here. 3:27 left in the first half. It's 35-zip. In fact, put it up at the 36.
Got to get at least a score on this drive. You cannot come out of the half, despite the fact you're going to get the ball first in the second half.
Yeah, I agree. We did not see this coming was the point. I mean, look, you've got 4 kids with NFL pedigree in their blood, and Placer is just boat racing this team. Madden back under center, the receiver to either side. Wide split on the near side. They'll hand it off to the tailback, Davis. And again, that gang tackling mentality. Yoakum in on the tackle, joined by Keith Messerall. Davis is going to take it up for a gain of 3 or 4 to the 40-yard line.
I'm impressed by the line, both sides.
Absolutely.
Offensive line is dominating. Defensive line is just overwhelming. Overwhelming. You can have all the skill players you want, but if you have nobody to block for them, they're not going anywhere. And talk to Hans Grossman about how much he loves his O-line.
Absolutely. This bye week and this rest week coming at a perfect time for tonight's matchup. We certainly didn't see this. Madden with a fake. Now he's going to drop back. He's got a wide open receiver.
Picked
and it's
again.
going to be picked off. He overthrows him. Picked off by the Hillmen. And that is going to be Nate Russell. And he's going to run it out of bounds and be pushed a little bit late. Picked it off out at his own 30 and took it all the way into O'Dowd territory. Did Nate Russell. Boy, that was just a terrible throw, Dave. There's no other way to describe it.
And look at the time on the clock, and look who has the football.
2:29 left here in the first half. Russell is that's going to be a good 30-yard return by Nate Russell, taking it to the 45 of O'Dowd, where Placer will be back on offense, leading by 5 touchdowns here with 2.5 minutes left in the first half of play. See if they can't put it in again. Let's get a running clock to start the second half. Why not? Pile it on.
To say I'm surprised is an understatement.
Your mouth is, I have to go get your mouth up off the floor during halftime.
I'm
We're both
shocked
up here. Haswell ready to go, hand it off to A.J. Ferreira, trying to use that Grossman block. He does, and he's able to gain a few extra. Nice block there by Hans to spring A.J. for 5. And that'll be a second down upcoming. Tackle on the play made by both Davis and Malachi Ward. Good job, though, again, Dave. The line is moving crisply. The backs are blocking for each other, and everything is going well right now.
Yeah, this is a well-oiled machine at this point, and I'm thinking that bye week came at the perfect time. You got some people healthy. They're coming back. They're getting out against what we perceived as a quality opponent. You know who's worried right now? Everybody in the Foothill Valley League.
That is well said. Fake it, and now Haswell's going to drop back and throw it deep. And is the catch made?
I think he made the catch,
anyway,
and it's PI.
But Sam Bender with a hell of a grab down there near the 10-yard line. And they did throw the flag, but I think they gave him the catch anyway.
Well, they had to.
Yeah.
30-yard pass catch.
So that's going to be 25 yards down to the 15-yard line. The catch is good.
Oh,
wait. Now it looks like it's going to be on Placer. Oh,
it's
no.
An offensive pass interference? How can that be? He looked back for the ball. They were both looking back for the ball. He didn't push off. Not sure what they're going to call here, but it most likely is going to be offensive pass interference.
That's nonsense again. I mean,
offensive pass interference. Offense. 15 yards. Replay. Second down.
Wow.
Well, the guys in the booth here looking as perplexed as we are, because I'm telling you that was either a catch or defensive pass interference. There's no way you can call that on Bender, but they do. And it'll back the Hillmen back into their own territory. Ball at the 45-yard line. Now a second down and 20 upcoming for Placer as the clock ticks down to a minute and a half left here in the first half of play. Here's
Going back to the
Haswell.
low, look out.
Another fake. Haswell's going to move to the center of the pocket, throw it downfield, and it's going to be knocked down by Jaden Davis. That was intended for Dylan Logelin. Good defense there by Bishop. And Placer with a 3rd and long upcoming. You might want to run this one, Dave, just get that clock ticket.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot better than trying to go outside your norm. We know they've got a series of pass plays in the book, but it's nothing that you want to rely on if you're the Placer Hillmen. And at this point, let's just run it into the line, get that 4th down coming up, punt it away, and let your defense will do what they've been doing this entire half, which is smothering those O'Dowd Dragons.
3rd down and 20. By the way, if you're curious, O'Dowd has 1 timeout remaining with 1:28 left in the second quarter. Haswell under center. He'll hand it off to AJ, and AJ is going to get a nifty little 5-yard gain up near midfield to the 49-yard line. Tackled on the play by Colton Vardell, and the clock will tick. And I don't think O'Dowd's going to take a timeout. They want to get out of this half as bad as
anybody else.
They
may just want to get on the bus. That was an interesting play as A.J. Ferreira steps in at about $140, and the 230-pound Colton Vardell just kind of grabbed him from behind and surfed over his body as he made the tackle.
1 minute remaining in the first half, completely dominated by the Placer Hillmen. It's 35-0. The most impressive performance we've seen out of this 2019 edition. Talking with Mitchell Moore and Logan Groth yesterday, they said, look, bye week came at a good time. We're feeling healthy. We're feeling confident, and we're looking forward to the challenge of a private school power from Oakland coming up here. And they've certainly shown what the Foothills is all about. I think sometimes teams come up here and they maybe underestimate Placer a little bit, not knowing, it's a name on paper. It's in the Sierra Foothills. Who knows? Well, we've got 2nd generation, 3rd generation, heavy hitting, hard-working players here, and they are doing their thing tonight.
They've got max preps just like we do. They can go to the history. They can see section, state, section. Come on. Hey, how can you underestimate this team?
Well, if you do, you're going to lose. Sterling Stokes back to take the punt from Alex Bond, who will kick it from his own 35-yard line. High end-over-end kick into the Auburn Knight, and it will bounce inside the 15 and out of bounds near the 10-yard line. I'm guessing we're 1 knee away from halftime, and the halftime show with Tarek Ansari, including your Roseville Auto Mall scoreboard update. Get you caught up on Cal versus Arizona State, the Oakland A's, and, of course, high school football scores from around the region as league play is underway for a lot of teams tonight. Not for Placer, though. They got one more non-league half left, and this has been the most impressive performance that we've seen out of this team. A perfect way to get this preseason finished off, or non-league season. You call it what you want.
And part and parcel of that could be the fact that they've gotten to practice on this field, and now they're kind of used to it. They know what kind of speed. They know the way the field feels now. They know how they can make their cuts. We knew it was going to be a big difference for them, but this is ridiculously a good difference.
Madden's going to hand it off to Davis, who is going to take it up to the 18-yard line, so an 8-yard gain. And the tackle on the play made by, Nate Russell. And that's going to do it here for the half. Our score, Placer 35, Bishop O'Dowd zip. Second half upcoming here just a little bit. Let's see, maybe not. 3, 2, 1. And that should do it. In fact, that will be the last play of the half. We'll take a break and be right back. It's Friday Night Football on the Foothills. This is KAHI Radio.
This is Nate Russell, class of 2020 wide receiver, and you're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
Hey, welcome back to Lefevre Stadium. Casey and Dave with you as we have just about concluded halftime. Hillman up 35-0. And if you've been with us for the entire game, you've heard us talk about how well the defense has played. These statistics are astounding to me. All right, we'll start you with Bishop O'Dowd, and there's not a whole lot to talk about. Jesse Madden, the grandson of John Madden, 4 out of 9, 32 yards, 2 interceptions, one of those a 25-yard pick six by Evan Robinson. Dan Wilson saying when he gets him in class next time, he's going to tell him, for the rest of your life, you can say, I got a pick six off of John Madden's grandson. That's saying something. Jaden Davis, 6 totes for 28 yards, 1 rush for 7 yards for Ethan Ford. I got nothing else. Total rushing, 27 yards. Total passing, 32 yards. Total offense for the O'Dowd Dragons in the first half, 59 yards. No points. Wow. On the other side, the Hillmen do what the Hillmen do. You know Hans is going to get his. Mr. Grossman, 10 carries, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns, including an epic 58-yard burst. And a drive that started with 5:57 to go, and that drive lasted a whole minute 16. Who else?
Who else?
Dylan Loughlin, 7 carries, 45 yards, and a 5-yard touchdown.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Dylan, for showing up tonight. Let's see. Zachary Garrett, 4 carries, 28 yards. A.J. Ferreira, 3 for 28. All kinds of stuff.
All kinds of fun stuff going on here.
Fun stuff. Total yards, 58 through the air. 1 for 2 for Martin Haswell. 58 yards on 1 pass play.
Yeah.
204 on the ground.
Let me pick up the slack, Dave. You take a sip of soda. Look, folks, it's halftime at a high school football game. Dave and I are chugging nachos down our gullets, trying to get the energy up for the second half. Speaking of energy, high energy by the Hillmen on all plays in the first half. I mean, Dave, I got to tell you, we've done a lot of games together. That's my volume. There you go. You enjoy yourself. We've done a lot of games together, and this is one of the most impressive performances we've seen. Look, we've seen this team go to the state championship game 2 years ago, section championship after section championship appearance. This is public school football at its best. I know I sound like a homer when I say that, but I'm a public school kid. Dave's a public school kid. Everybody in this booth is a public school kid, and we are fans of when basically you start at 8, 9, 10 years old. You're out there with your buddies. You're learning the wing tee up here in Auburn. The coaches teach it to you. They preach it to you. You learn it like the back of your hand, as Logan Groth mentioned on our program Thursday afternoon. And by the time you get to the varsity level, it just means more when you've got an entire community out here supporting you. You got a radio station behind you. You've got a packed stands every single time that you're at home. And now you've got one of the most beautiful fields in the entire area. It is all combined into a perfect night. 35-zip, Placer with the lead, and O'Dowd will get the ball to kick off the second half. I will take one deep breath. Dave will say something, and then we will get going here with second half football on KAHI.
What I will say is we can't suffer a letdown here. We know that these kids, they're stinging a little. They're coming in 0-4, but they've got speed, they've got talent, and speed can kill. So what the Hillmen need to do is just buckle on the chin straps, play the same kind of half in the second half that they played in the first half, continue to dominate both lines of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively, and just finish this game off.
35-0. Alex Bond prepares to tee it up. This kickoff brought to you by Auburn Trophies and more. Check them out online at auburntrophies.com. And this one's going to come up at the 1-yard line. O'Dowd will be forced to field it, coming out across the 10. And to the 14-yard line goes number 7, Matt White. So O'Dowd trailing by 5 touchdowns here to open the second half, moving from right to left. It's 35-zip Placer on a beautiful fall night here in the Sierra Foothills. You're on KAHI Radio. I'm Casey Freelove. He's Dave Rosenthal. This is Friday Night Football in the Foothills. High school football at its best. We enjoy bringing it to you, and we are having a lot of fun tonight.
Well, you cannot say enough about the leg of Alex Bond. Field position, you mentioned it first. That's another start inside their own 20. That's 3 consecutive starts inside their own 20.
So, ready to go are the Dragons. Jesse Madden under center. I formation, handed off to Davis, coming across the near side. Nifty little cut, able to gain a few yards is Davis. He'll take it from the 14 out to the 21, so that'll be a gain of 7. tackled on the play by Micah Yoakum. 2nd down and 3 upcoming. O'Dowd moving from right to left here in the second half. And by the way, real quickly, I want to give a shout out to, well, Mary and Ryan over at Strictly Toyotas for letting me park over there so I can get into this game before things got going. And of course, our pals Dan Wilson and Greg Turner, who is really saving my life up here with these spots. Thank you so much, my friend. We certainly appreciate you. 2nd and 3 upcoming. Madden back under center, I formation. He'll hand it off to the tailback, Davis. Davis dragged down by Yoakum, but still chugging those legs. Boy, Mitchell Moore and Nate Russell have to come up and help out, and that's going to be, after all that fighting, just a gain of 2.
Well, if they're going to let him struggle that far and he's going to fumble the ball, if he's still moving forward, why didn't they call that a fumble? Just a question.
Good question. Well, Dave, I mean, the only questionable thing about this game has been those guys in the stripes down on the field. I mean, I would venture to guess that about 50%, maybe 45% of the plays in the first half had a flag.
It was ridiculous. The yellow laundry on the field in that first half was beyond compare.
3rd down and 1. Madden back under center. He's going to hand it to the up back, and it's going to be a 1st down gain. Hard running there by Ethan Ford, taking it out to the 28-yard line. We'll call that a gain of 5 and a 1st down for the Dragons. Boy, Dave, they've gone with that I formation time and time again. That's the first time they've given it to the up back the entire evening.
Well, what happened in the first half is they try to go to that running game and they get stuffed, and then they go back to pass, and that D-line would just force bad passes. I mean, they only made 4 out of 9, but he threw 2 picks, including that pick 6 to Evan Robinson.
All right, receivers spread out wide. Now they'll motion the up back from the I to the slot. Madden ready to go under center, handed off to the running back Davis, and Davis is going to power his way over right guard for a gain of 4 yards out to the Hillman 31. 2nd down and 6 upcoming. Clock under 10 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Placer with the 35-0 lead.
Well, it looks like they're going to just go basic right now. At least they have
You
so
can
far in
understand
this
that.
series. Yeah, why not? Let's just see if we can sustain something. And we've started with bad field position the entire night. Nothing outside of our own 20 the entire night. First half was all own 20, then an own 17, own 15. They started this drive at their own 14. See if we can get something going. Get some kind of rhythm going to the offense here.
Offset I now for Madden. He'll hand it off to Davis. Davis is going to be dragged down by Evan Robinson.
Who?
Yeah, you know who that is. Evan Robinson's had himself one heck of a football game. He'll be up to the 32-yard line. Not much doing there. I'll give him a gain of 1.
Okay.
We'll give him 1 on that play, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 5 for O'Dowd.
And this is where Placer's defense tonight has been really solid, just getting this O'Dowd team off the field. It doesn't matter if it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1, 3rd and long. They've been really dominating the defensive line. Let's see how they stand up and trying to get them out of here again.
Back into that I formation. Madden under center takes a 7-step drop, looking to the far side, and they're thrown to the ground by Evan Moore. Sacked by Evan back at the 25-yard line. That's going to be, Dave, a loss of 8 yards on that play and bring up 4th and punt time for the Bishop O'Dowd Dragons. Evan Robinson having the night of his life. And look, he's the team leader in tackles coming into tonight, tied with Logan Groff. But I'm telling you, this kid, I mean, when I met him, I was like very impressed by the size and the love that he has for the game. A really talented football player. Yet another great Placer Hillmen here in Auburn. It's going to be a low snap, recovered by Romero, and then it's going to be a fair catch for Russell out at the 43-yard line for Placer, who will take over 1st and 10, moving from left to right, leading 35-zip with 8:11 left here in the 3rd quarter of play.
And again, look at the field position difference. Placer, own 20, own 35, own 46, own 39. O'Dowd 45 and own 43.
We're going to get another first look tonight. We've got number 27, Mitchell Keddy, in at wide receiver up top for the Hillmen.
Don't do that.
He's going to be joined out there in the slot by Dylan Logelin. Haswell ready to go. Grossman behind him. Handed off to Hans, looking for a block, uses it, and is able to wiggle his way out for a 4-yard gain up to the 47-yard line. Tackled on the play by number 32, Caleb Branscombe.
And that should push Hans over the 100-yard mark yet again. That 4 gets him to 101 to go along with the 58 and 2-yard touchdown runs tonight. Just another average night for Hans.
Austin Hollett spells Mitchell Keddy. And Haswell's ready to go. Saw Martin's dad, Rob, out in the parking lot along with my old English teacher, Mr. Williams,
nice.
From Oakmont. Had to say hello to those guys. And if you're listening back on the replay on Monday, guys, good to see you out there at Strictly Toyotas. Now we got a penalty. That's going to be on the Hillman, it looks like.
Start, 65. 5-yard penalty, replay second down.
We don't say names, sir, but that was on number 65. You've got a roster at home. Back to the Hillman up 5 yards. Second down and 11 upcoming.
Let's just say if his dad's on the roof, he's stomping his feet right now.
Well played, my friend. Haswell ready to go. Grossman, the lone back behind. Now they'll motion the wing back, and it's going to be a fake, and now a handoff coming to the near side of Logelin, but they blew that one up.
Yeah.
Driving through the line was Branscombe, and able to drop Logelin for a loss of, 4 yards back to the 39-yard line.
And they never did drop him. They stopped him.
Yeah, they stopped
stood
him.
him up. He never got thrown to the ground. He was having none of that.
Well, I mean,
so here you go.
You got
the big one.
I mean, look how fast this quarter is going. We're already down to 7 minutes here. Placer's just going to run the ball the rest of the night. I'd be surprised if we see any more passing, unless maybe they look for that tight end and that elusive first catch of the season by the position.
Yeah, and you really don't want to show too much
No.
right now because there are other Foothill Valley League teams that have probably got coaches out here. I wouldn't doubt that there are a couple of Nevada Union coaches in the crowd somewhere tonight, strategically placed.
Third down and long, and Joey's going to call a timeout. We'll take it with them. Placer 35, Bishop O'Dowd 0.
I think Joey's taking this timeout to jaw. This looks like one of those baseball coach things where I'm out here taking a timeout so I can give you a piece of my mind right now.
After Coach Montoya done giving the boys a piece of his mind, it will be third down and long. The line to make, the O'Dowd 47. Here's Haswell dropping back. It's going to be a screen. Catch is made out there by Groth, and Groth is going to push his way out to the 49-yard line. So not bad, an 11-yard gain there, but it still will be fourth down. We'll see if Placer will go or not here.
And it's funny because when we were talking what they might do here, I was thinking in the back of my mind, screen, but don't show it. In a game like this, don't show it. 14-9, Del Oro only over Whitney right now. So, that would really help our cause if Whitney could come back and get that game.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
That would be huge towards the end of the year when you start looking at, teams and who they beat.
Hillman are going to go here. Fourth down, ball at their own 48-yard line. They need 5. Split backs behind Haswell. They're going to hand it off to Logelin. Looking to use that block. He fumbled the ball. And he recovers, and he's going to pick up the first down.
Wow.
What a break. Logelin fumbled it. It bounced right back into his hand. He ends up with a 7-yard gain to the 45 of O'Dowd. First down, Hillman.
And again, Logelin not seeing a lot of playing time this year. It's his first game. Was it Groth that got it?
Oh, it was Groth on the carry. It looked like, I thought I saw 2-2. So, okay, Groth with the recovery, Logelin with the gainer, though.
Okay.
So it's a 5-yard gain, then a 2-yard forward fumble.
Boy, and what would you say if you were a Raider fan about that fumble?
Wasn't that? I'm not surprised. No.
Wasn't that a rule that was put into place? Not double reverse.
Handed off to Guerra, and he'll take it from the 45 down to the 40. Tackle made by Shaddle.
So
and yes, Dave, I'm sorry, I was not thinking about your point. Yes, the holy roller.
Yeah, you have to ask Dave Casper about that one.
Yeah, there you go. We'll take it way back. What was that? What was that? 76?
76 against the
76.
Chargers.
In San Diego.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least I got the year right.
Yeah, nicely done.
Thank you. Vista Del Lago leading Del Campo 16-7. That game at half. Handed off to Hans over the left side. He's got the first down and more. Still chugging those legs. It takes it all the way down to the 30-yard line. That's going to be a 10-yard gain for Grossman. Tackle on the play made by Malachi Ward and Matt White. First down, Hillman.
Tick, 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 tick. If they run this in and get a touchdown and end the quarter that way, we should get a running clock in quarter 4.
That we should. By the way, Colfax destroying Wheatland 31-zip. That game at half. Christian Brothers over Rio Americano 21-7. That game is in the second quarter of play. We'll get you more scores on the Roseville Auto Mall scoreboard update in a moment. First and 10, Hillman. Split backs behind. Handed off to Logelin, coming across the 25 and still driving inside the 20. Nifty run there by Logelin, taking it all the way down to the 18-yard line. 12-yard gain on the play. Tackle on the play made by Branscombe, joined by Shaddle. So first and 10, Hillman, ball at the 18-yard line of O'Dowd as the clock ticks under 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. Methodical wing T offense, different formations, new plays, and a plethora of players that we hadn't seen get much action this year, getting it done for Placer tonight.
Just another weapon in Dylan Loughlin for the Joey Montoya-led Hillmen.
Hand it off to Guerra. He's got some daylight. He'll drive inside the 10-yard line. That's going to be close to another first down. We'll put that down at the 8. Ward in on the tackle
Might be
along
right
with
on the
White,
number.
and it should be right there. They will give him the first down. 10-yard gain there.
So Guerra doing rather well tonight. 15 or in this drive to go along with the 28 earlier. So again, Jesse Wiggum, a great linebacker, a great running back, taking the week off. Probably a precautionary measure, getting ready for Foothill Valley League season, but just plug in a new part.
First and goal. It's going to be a motion to Bender. Grossman out there to block. Samuel inside the 5, driving his way towards the end line. Still fighting inside the 5 down to the 3. Good job there by Bender on the end around. Tackled by Ward and Vardell, but not before a 5-yard gain. Second down and goal upcoming.
That's Jesse, or I should say that's Sam's first carry of the night. He had that one reception, that bomb for 58, but that's his first tote of the night.
Sam Bender has been a real weapon here. Over 100 yards on the ground and through the air receiving coming into tonight through 4 games. 15 carries and 5 receptions. That would be number 16 on the year. Let's see if maybe they feed him again here with second down and goal. Guerra takes it over the left side, pushing towards the end zone. Is going to come up just shy down to the 1-yard line. So third down and goal upcoming from the 1. Tackle made by Ward, joined by Brown. And the Hillmen will let that clock tick again and try and put another 6 on the board.
I just love the idea of splitting Hans Grossman to the far hash and running the ball anyway. Yeah, let's just put Hans out there as sort of a decoy. You know they're not going to throw it to him out there. And now he's probably in the backfield.
Hans the lone back, handed to him over the right side. He's met in the backfield, still pushes his way forward, dives towards the end zone, and he's going to be brought up just shy.
They stopped him for no gain.
Yeah, good job there by Branscombe, keeping Grossman out of the end zone. That's a tough
He
thing
hit
to
him
do.
3 yards deep in the backfield.
Yeah.
Hans busted that tackle, and if it hadn't been for him grabbing that undershirt, because we saw a lot of white coming out from under that green jersey from Grossman. Let's see what the call is.
Earn the tackle, personal foul, face mask.
Nice.
Defense. Half the distance to the goal line, 4-10.
All right, so moving inside the 1-yard line down to the half-yard line. And you know the Hillmen are going here. Now down on the field, I was going to say that shouldn't be a fourth down. That's going to be a replay of third down. And I say
2 more cracks from the 1.
I say you go right back to that play.
Well, let's see where they
Maybe
line
Hans
up.
should tuck in that undershirt. Split backs behind, handed off to Guerra, who goes over the left side into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillmen. Xavier Guerra, his first score of the year on the ground, extends this Placer lead to 41-0. 2 minutes left here in the third quarter of play. Great blocking up there. By the way, during the halftime break, I went and spoke with the man who sponsors the touchdowns. I saw owner Christopher from the Man Cave,
And what did he
923
say?
Lincoln Way. He said, "Go Hillmen." I said, "You got 5 sponsor mentions in the first half, and I think you're going to get some more in the second." And he just did. Placer, 41. Bishop, zip. Extra point pending. Good snap, good hold, and the kick splits the uprights. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. All Hillmen here in Auburn, 42-0 on Friday Night Football in the Foothills. Alex Bond is going to bomb another one towards the end zone, and it will go in, so Bishop O'Dowd will take over. I mean,
That last drive, by the way, 12 plays, 57 yards, 6 minutes, 11 seconds to go 57 yards. That's grinding it out.
Dave, from a coaching perspective, okay, I want you to play Dragons coach Napoleon Kaufman. Your team is being absolutely manhandled here. You've got an entire league season ahead of you, and you're down 42-0. Why are we not running this clock with 2 minutes left in the third quarter?
That's a very good question. I think that'll happen here at the end of the quarter automatically with a 35-plus point lead for the Hillmen.
Madden underneath center. Again, that I formation behind him. Now motion the up back. Taking a 7-step drop, looking to the far side, guns it out there. The catch is made. Out to the 30 and up to the 35-yard line goes JJ's son Sterling. And he'll be to the 36-yard line. 16-yard gain, tackled on the play by Andy Alvarez. I mean, Dave, we spent so much time talking about the Hillman defense in front. Let's credit the secondary as well. They haven't caught many balls tonight, have the Dragons.
Yeah, and then when the balls have been thrown high, they've been putting some punishment out there. You get hit enough times, you're not going to reach for the ball anymore. That time the pass was a little lower down, but still, it's still amazing to me that they only managed 59 yards of total offense in the first half. I'm blown away by the Hillman defense tonight.
Madden steps back into the pistol, 2 receivers to either side. Now he's going to have to scramble to the far side. Plenty of daylight in front of him. The Hillman pursuit runs him out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Gain of 6, second down and 4 upcoming.
He had to pull it down. He was looking to his left, and really good tight coverage by the Hillman secondary once again. As they've just been aggressive. Sam Bender was over there, and he had his man covered like a blanket. That's where he wanted to go. There was no place for him to go, and he had to sprint to the far side to get the gain.
Second down and 4 upcoming for O'Dowd. The ball at the 38-yard line on the far hash as Jesse Madden and company are enduring a very long night. Now, they took a beating early in the season, but this is looking like their worst loss of the season in progress. He's back there in the pistol. And looking, throws it high. That one could have been picked, and then it could have been tipped into the hands of Ford. He couldn't haul it in. End result, third down upcoming.
Another third and semi-manageable at 5-6 yards, but he stood back there, tried to stand tall in the pocket and deliver. Again, really good coverage by this secondary.
So 3rd and 4, ball at the 42-yard line. Bishop O'Dowd, I would venture to guess, probably on their way to their first 0-5 start, maybe in program history. This is a defending section champion that is not having things go their way this year. Now, they do have some injuries. We're not going to overshadow that, but this has been as dominating a performance as we've seen from the Placer football team, at least in 2019. This is up there with some of last year's performances as well. Now Mad's going to scramble, and a great job taking out his legs there by Placer. Noah Cardelli swept out his legs and dropped him for a pretty healthy loss there, Dave.
Now I'm just watching the sticks on the other side. The guy with the yard to make was walking the wrong direction. He shouldn't have been moving at all. 6-yard loss.
Yeah.
That negates the 6-yard run. And so far here in the second half, it hasn't gone any better for the Dragons.
Really great effort there by Noah, just sweeping out the legs there of Madden and forcing the punt there.
Sweep his legs.
Sweep the leg. Francisco Romero with the punt. And that'll be back at the 30-yard line for the Hillmen.
And Hillman will probably run a play, and that should run the clock here in quarter number 3. I'll be really shocked if we don't get a running clock here in quarter 4.
By the way, speaking of sweep the leg, a tough loss for fans of 80s movies. Rob Garrison, known as Tommy, put him in a body bag, the Karate Kid movies of the 80s, passed away this morning, according to Entertainment Weekly. The 59-year-old actor died at a hospital in his home state of West Virginia, where he'd been receiving treatment for ongoing kidney and liver issues. He also appeared in the popular YouTube Red series Cobra Kai, which has brought Daniel San and Johnny Lawrence back together. So rest in peace, sir. I'm a child of the 80s. I literally went and got my black belt after seeing the Karate Kid movie. I was like 8 years old, and I did karate for like 7 years just to get it. And hand off to Guerra, who is still running into O'Dowd territory. A huge gasher, 24 yards all the way down to the 46-yard line. Great job there. And yeah, we'll call that 24 yards. Check that, not 26, but a tackle on the play made by Harrison Jenkins.
69 yards on the ground for Garrett tonight.
And a great job by Garrett. Now, Dave, you're just a little bit older than me, but did you enjoy the Karate Kid film?
I love the Karate Kid film.
Great franchise, right? Yeah,
wax off.
Exactly.
Liked all of that.
Cobra Kai also enjoyable. That's the end of the third quarter. We're talking pop culture here because it's a blowout. Placer Hillmen 42, Bishop O'Dowd zip. We'll head to the fourth quarter. You're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills. This is KAHI Radio. As we get the fourth quarter underway, ball at the 46-yard line of O'Dowd. The Hillmen starting to bring in some new players, and a hefty run by the backup fullback Logan Wilkins, rumbling from the 46-yard line down to the 35.
That'll be an 11-yard quarterback in there too, Pard.
That we do.
How many yards for Logan?
That was 11 yards there. And as Dave mentioned, we got a new quarterback in here for the Hillmen as well. A lot of different substitutions taking place, and we should have a running clock with a 42-point game here in the fourth quarter, I assume.
Well, we never did see the man in the
No,
little
we
hat
did
come
not.
over and mention that to us.
All right, hand it off to A.J. Ferreira. He's got room, breaking into daylight, 20, 15, all the way down inside the 15-yard line rumbles A.J. Ferreira. He'll take it from the 35 down to the 13, 22 yards and a first down for the Hillmen, who have at quarterback Mason Packheiser, number 13.
Did you
into the
see
game.
that reach back stiff arm by little AJ? That big DB was trying to grab him. He's like, nah, I want a touchdown. Get away from me.
Making his papa Chris very happy. Chris, I'm sure you'll be listening back to this on Monday. He's busy filming the game right now and probably silently cheering from up above the press box here at Lefevre. Hillman ready to go. Packheiser under center. Handed off to Wilkins, going over the left side. 10, 5, and inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line. Rumbles Wilkins, and that will be a gain of 9 yards. Take it down to the 3. Nice job of running there. I'd say you use that same play again.
It doesn't matter who's touching the football tonight. And at this point, you got to believe that O'Dowd is just absolutely exhausted. They have to be.
I mean, they've got a small roster to begin with.
Their defense has been on the field. I mean, out of what? The time that we played, that's 36 minutes. They've had to have been on the field probably 24, that 36.
As
Is that
AJ
in?
Rumbles down to the 1-yard line. 2-yard gain there by Ferreira. He tried to extend into the end zone. We'll see if he can't get it again. Dave, this Bishop team only had 32 players on their roster, and from their coaches' mouths, they had 3 down tonight. So that is a problem numbers-wise.
This is a team that played Monte Vista of Danville fairly tight. They got boat run by Pittsburgh, but who doesn't other than, well, Bishop O'Dowd, or excuse me, De La Salle. Everybody gets run by them. They've had some games against some good squads. They just didn't have it here tonight.
Packheiser with the handoff to Wilkins over the right side and into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillman. Logan Wilkins picking up his first touchdown of the season. A 1-yard scamper over right tackle, extending this Hillman lead to 48-0. 9:43 left here in the fourth quarter. Always good to see a young man get his first touchdown carry of the season, and that's what Logan did. He really earned it on that drive, too. We'll call that the Wilkins-Ferreira connection as Placer just takes it down their throats and pushes this lead out to 48-zip, extra point pending. Touchdown brought to you by the Man Cave. Hello, owner Christopher. Thank you for sponsoring Placer football. He's an alum and a proud Auburn business owner, as Bond missed it wide right. So 48-0 our score, 9:43 left here in the fourth. Back with more in a moment.
This is Logan Groth, class of 2020, running back and safety, and you're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on KAHI.
6 plays, 70 yards, 2 minutes, 43 seconds. You look at these drives.
I mean, look at the
That's
start.
the story.
They have not had a ball in O'Dowd territory. Own 20, own 35, own 46, own 39, own 43, own 30, and just taking it down the field and gobbling up chunks of clock. Wow. I mean, very impressive here. 48-0. Placer destroying Bishop O'Dowd here as Bond is ready to kick it off. This kickoff brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Shopping Center. Frequent them. You need something? You need a trophy? You play fantasy football? Go see Connie. She'll hook you up. Ball's going to be fielded at the 10-yard line out across the 15 near the 20, making a cut back to the near side across the 20, 25, and then finally pushed down at the 28-yard line is number 5, Malachi Ward.
Oh, Austin Hollitz there just wasn't going to let him get away.
No, he wasn't.
I think they're smelling a shutout.
I couldn't agree more, Dave. I mean, you want to talk about a confidence booster and a score that's going to drop mouths from around the section. You shut out a school that's a defending section champion, a private school, that is going to turn some heads. I don't care if they're 0-4, Dave. They're better than 0-4. Everybody knows that.
Foothill Valley League right now is quivering. There's teams other than probably Mr. Scattaboo at Rio Linda who can't even wait.
Okay, yeah, we're ready. All right, finally the command for the running clock has come in. And it is definitely time. Hand it off to Davis across the far side.
Don't let him get to
He'll
the
wiggle his
outside
way out
there.
across the 30,
no,
40,
there
and
goes the
towards
shutout.
daylight, 50, down to the 40, 30, he gone.
No flags.
Davis will take it 72 yards into the end zone to end the shutout. Jaden Davis rumbling 72 yards in about 10 seconds to make it 48-6. Placer. Boy, that's a darn shame, Dave. You and I have never called a shutout here. That would have been really the icing on the cake, but
give credit also to Joey Montoya for getting kids in the game that aren't normally going to see playing time in tighter games.
Good point.
And that's usually what happens at this juncture. You get some guys in there, they're just not They're not quite ready for that speed yet because they haven't got a lot of playing time. He got the corner, he got the angle, nobody was going to get him, and he just ran away.
Gabriel Placencia is the kicker. The snap will be from Matthew Shaddle, and your holder is Harrison Jenkins. Shaddle is a left-footed kicker, and he's a monster. It's like 250 pounds, maybe 6 feet tall. And Shaddle's going to creep it inside the left upright. Now, as soon as this game ends, the second this game ends, we are sending you out to Berkeley for Cal football against Arizona State. They've got an entire half ahead. It's tied at 7 apiece. We're going to get you our Mel's Diner player of the game. If you've been listening, you already know who it is. He's earned it, and we'll give it to him here in 6 minutes and 39 seconds as O'Dowd's ready to tee it up. Placer will field it, leading 48-7 here, moving from right to left in this fourth quarter. A.J. Ferreira and Sam Bender, the deep backs for the Hillmen, and it's just been all Placer. I mean, save for one busted open play there by Jaden Davis, this thing would be a shutout. We'd all be heading home. Probably a drive remaining here, a first down or two,
Onside this?
and
No,
we'll call it quits. The left-footed kicker gets it down there deep. AJ's going to field it at the 3-yard line, out across the 5, going to the far side, 10, 15, and push down at the 20-yard line, where Placer will have it, 1st and 10. Pushed out of bounds by Jenkins.
That's the second time in this game that Placer started at their own 20 or worse. A first possession, own 20. Everything after that, huge. I can't even write down the time this drive started because the clock's been running.
Well, let's say 6:39 when it was kicked off, right?
Okay, that sounds good to me.
All right, so Packheiser is going to head back into the game. That's Mason Packheiser, the junior, listed at $135. So let's say lanky, skinny, tall, ready to go, with split backs behind him. A new look for the Hillmen as we've got Thomas Ricks back there at fullback and Seth Crawford at running back, I believe.
I think he fumbled the
And he's
football.
going to fumble the ball. Bishop's going to pick it up and run into the end zone.
Wow.
Touchdown, O'Dowd, and you may have to put the starters back in. Jermaine Brewer goes 20 yards to make it 48-13 with 5 minutes left. Fumble on the play by the Hillmen costs them, and Bishop catches it in instantly.
Well, I guess the only positive out of this, we get the ball back.
Yeah.
But again, putting in kids, try to give them a little taste of varsity action, get in there, get some plays, earn that varsity letter. Not really the way you had it drawn up, but at the same time, you got to get kids into play because you never know what's going to happen down the line.
Well, Dave, I'll say this. My first football game as a freshman at Oakmont, we were getting destroyed by Nevada Union in Grass Valley, and it was raining. I got the ball, and I fumbled that puppy away because I just couldn't get the handle on it. I had those stupid arm guards that were so popular in the 90s, and I had a fumble, so I could
But you
relate.
look cool with the arm guard.
I did, and I didn't play that much, so I had to look cool because I was on the sidelines a lot and on kickoff team. Hey, but I watched a lot. That's how I can call it. Here's the left-footed kicker tacking it inside the left upright, and we'll keep it here. 48-14 Hillmen with 4 minutes left in the football game. Kickoff goes to Ferreira. Now he's got a little bit of room, taking it all the way out across the 30, 35, 40, and scampers out of bounds up at the 42-yard line. Great job of running it back by AJ. And with 2.5 minutes left here, we're only a snap or two away from concluding this game and sending you out to Berkeley. Great win for the Hillmen. 48-14 will be the final, barring some sort of catastrophe. A flag flies, but let them sort it out. We'll let the clock run. Dave,
Yeah,
get me our Mel's Diner player of the game. He had, if I'm not mistaken, 7 tackles tonight, a pick 6 from 25 yards out, and he's been playing like a man possessed all year.
My partner here, the precog, who, he was in the little water vat and had this in his brain, I think, on Thursday that this was going to happen. And the next thing you know, Evan Robinson, pick 6, tackles all over the place, playing great football, as did the entire team. I mean, if we had a certificate for everybody, I'd give it to both the offensive and the defensive line, leaning more towards the defense because they've been awesome tonight. But Evan Robinson, our Mel's Diner player of the game. You can win too.
Yeah, Evan's a winner. You can win by bringing your Placer football stub from tonight to Mel's Diner, Highway 49 and Luther Road. Show them your stub. They'll give you 10% off your order tonight or tomorrow at Mel's Diner. Also want to thank some of our other great sponsors, the White House, Paradise Signs, Roseville Auto Mall, Mackey Heating and Air, Anderson Sierra Pipe, and Meritage Auto. Without them, we're not here bringing you Friday Night Football in the Foothills. And hey, if you're in Auburn and you're listening, Dave and I will be out at the Rib Fest tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Come on out and say hello. We're going to be grubbing down and cheering for the Placer coaches to win it again. We'll see if they can. They won 2 years ago. Last year, it was neck and neck.
It was
and
an upset.
You got to get out there and vote. There are already people out there preparing the ribs right now, as far as I know.
The thing that blew my mind last year was some of those folks that came in, bought their tasting tickets, and just piled up the ribs on plates, wrapped them in foil, and took off.
Not a bad idea.
It's like, ooh, I can get ribs for how much? I'll give me a couple racks. Take them home. The family will enjoy this.
That they will, and we'll see out there.
As to why they stopped the clock.
Well, because they were taking so long to sort out this stupid penalty flag that flew unnecessarily, in my opinion. Placer has won this football game. We're just waiting for the clock to wind down.
Placer's not going to throw the ball. I love this defensive back's enthusiasm out here on the near side. He's like, yeah, I'm going to play. No. Oh, look at that. Nice handoff up the middle. Who is that?
Boy, a nice, tough run there by number 12.
Thomas Ricks.
Thomas Ricks taking it from the 42-yard line all the way down to the 22.
Not bad.
Yeah, not a bad run at all there by
That
Mr.
should
Ricks.
do it, though, shouldn't it?
Yeah,
we
well,
still have over a minute to
they're
go.
going to have to snap the ball at least one more time, if not two, but that'll be probably the last first down of the game. You might as well head to victory formation and call it a successful preseason.
Yeah, 'cause all he needed was that first down to get that fresh set, and all you have to do is just go down there. Enthusiasm galore. Cole Santiago, the new center, overran the football. Turned around, sprinted to the ball, he ran right past it.
Packeizer's going to take a knee, and this one's going to be all over here in Auburn in just a moment.
Well, I don't know. The referees are just, continuing to impose their lame will at the end of this game.
Yeah, not a great job by the Zebras tonight, I must say it. We don't criticize them every week unless they deserve it. This was not a good crew at all. I'm not sure which conference they came from, but
most of them were good. The guy that was the head linesman, not so much. He was the one that started this thing off, telling our center where he could or could not put the football. Just, it wasn't cool. Wasn't cool at all.
Our final score, Placer 48, Bishop O'Dowd 14. The Hillmen complete the preseason 3-2, and it is on to Foothill Valley League play. Join us next Friday night at 7 o'clock from Grass Valley, Placer at Nevada Union. For Dave Rosenthal, for our studio producer Tariq Ansari, I am Casey Freelove. You've been listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills. We now take you down to Berkeley, California for Cal Golden Bears football against Arizona State. We'll talk to you soon. Drive safe. Go Hillmen. What a night. This is AM 950, FM 104.5, KAHI Radio. Talk to you soon.